Good afternoon. This weekend is the weekend when the church celebrates the life of God, the Trinity. That God is three and yet is also one. And so I present a short reflection on the Trinity as community. Community is extremely important to us, the various communities we come from. And of course, tragically, we are witnessing on our TV screens from across the water and closer to home some of the effects that can happen when relationships between our community break down. And of course, the other aspect of God, the Trinity, is that he is not only community, but also that he is love. And over the years, there have been many attempts to describe the relationships between the persons of the Trinity. Some of these attempts have been said to have been bordering on the heretical. And so I planned to keep this address simple. It's always been the best way to communicate the gospel. Jesus did it perfectly, of course, drawing upon those familiar images of daily life that people knew and loved. As a church, I have always felt the need to recapture some of this sense of simplicity and perhaps a trust in the God who appears in the everyday and in the ordinary moments and things of life. So how am I going to do that today? How can I relate God, the Holy Trinity, in the ordinary and accessible language of bread and wine? And do it in a service and in a church which sends us out into the world to demonstrate that community of love which the church is called to be. A mirror image of the life of God himself. Well, to put it simply, I believe that we just need to remember that God is love and that God is community, and that in the giving and receiving which goes on in each of our daily lives, it is love which strengthens our communities and our sense of belonging to each other in community, which strengthens our love. So, for example, within the life of God, it was the love that existed between the three persons of the Trinity which led to the most amazing things taking place. It was the love that the Son and the Spirit had for the Father, which allowed the world to be created out of chaos. It was the love that the Father and the Spirit had for the Son, which enabled Christ to be raised gloriously from the dead. And it was the love which the Father and the Son had for the Spirit that sent his dynamic, transforming power into the world. God is love. God is community. And where communities are built upon love, then light will triumph over darkness, hope over despair, and life over death. That love is not separated by the current restrictions, but it does make it harder to express. Separation is tough. We are made for community life. But the Trinity helps us to see that love is also eternal, and that nothing, not even death itself, can keep us from being reunited again. Amen.